All right, here's the deal. Bryan from Oklahoma, he started making albums in 2019, and he started getting big around 2021, 2022. Last year, that's when he really, really blew up. So 2023, he had a number one album and a number one single and Grammys all in the same year. So you probably know him for Something in the Orange, that's the biggest song by far, or his last album, which is a self-titled one, which is also quite popular. It's kind of a big deal in the country, and it's kind of a big deal in music. So he released a new album today, The Great American Bar Scene, on 4th of July, which is Independence Day. It's now in 2 minutes. I'm going to go track by track and read the whole thing. And I might be speaking too soon, but I think it might be the best country album of the year, so let's get into it. All right, we start off with a poem, Lucky Enough. I think it's pretty nice, but I think it kind of loses the plot every once in a while, but I mean, it's just a poem, so it's just the opener. It's not supposed to be a whole big song. It's just a poem. All right, this is the first real song, Mechanical Bull. It's good. It's a good song. Lyrically, it's good. Zach Bryan is pretty much the best lyricist in country right now. It's not like completely blowing me away. It's good. It's a good song. That's kind of all there is to say about it. Now I have the title track, The Great American Bar Scene. So this is, on this album, one of the best songs lyrically, I'd say. It gives some Bob Dylan vibes. I mean, there's harmonica, that's probably the most obvious part. Dylan also often does these like long, drawn out things where he repeats these kind of vocal passages that all sound similar, but he changes the words every time. And this song is like that. I think on this song and on this album entirely, Zach is leaning more towards folk than he is country, because I think he's trying to not necessarily reinvent himself, but change his whole style from being simply just in the country sector into the folk side. 28 is certainly a very powerful song, I will say. It's a lot more moody than a lot of the other tracks on here. I think it's actually quite moody. Lyrics are very good, very thoughtful, one of the best on the album for sure. Really good storytelling, which I mean he's good at anyway, but this song really shows his storytelling prowess, right? But I think it could have been a little bit longer. It's about 4 minutes, but I think it could have been like 5 minutes, and it would have also worked and told the story a little bit more, a little bit better, honestly. Okay, American Nights. This is like the most full song so far, right? And it definitely leans a lot more into rock than the other previous songs, which I think it's nice. I think it works. Has a lot of good potential, and especially potential at being a radio hit. It isn't a single, but I think if it was released as a single, it would be a good radio hit. I think it's actually quite good in that sector, but still has a lot of very good lyrics to it. He's got better lyrics than pretty much everybody else in the country scene right now, so that's not much of a surprise. Oak Island is after this. It's a good song. Kind of underwhelming compared to the last song, because the last song is very, very, very full composition and very full composition and very interesting little sections to it. But this song is kind of the same thing over and over, but still a good song. Nothing wrong with it. Just a little bit underwhelming. Purple Gas is the second single on this album to come out, and it features Noeline Hoffman, and it's pretty good. I feel like Zach Bryan's features often are very focused on the feature, not entirely Zach all the time. Sometimes it is more Zach, but other times it's a lot of just the feature with Zach, which is good, but it's more of a duo thing than just a Zach song that they're featured on, right? There's nothing necessarily wrong about that, because Noeline kills it. I mean, she does really good in this track. I wasn't really familiar with her before this, but I think I'm gonna listen to some more of her, because she kills on this track. Boons. Boons is again a good song. There's not so far and in the entire album. I don't think there's a song that's really great and actually blows me away in a way that isn't just really good. There's some really good songs, but I don't think there's any songs that are like great, right? Um, Boons though, it's a good song. Again, it might just be because it's a good song. It's very earthy, and maybe it's just because it's 4th of July, but it feels very American. It feels like American to me. I don't know why that is, but it just feels American. I don't know. Pretty similar guitar work to the rest of the album, which is fine. I just kind of wanted to switch it up a little bit, because it's been very repetitive in the sense of the guitar. So if he switches it up a little bit, that would be nice. And the next song he does, The Way Back. The Way Back switches back, and he dips back into his rock bag, this time with a distinct piano lead on the song. It was actually pretty new for this whole album, so I like that a lot. The piano is really good in the song. The lyrics are obviously good, they always are, and it gave me the change I was looking for. So, a really good song. This was one of my favorites on the album, for sure. Okay, Memphis Blues, our second feature. This is the other John on the album, not John Mayer, but John Moreland. John Moreland's been around for a while. He's been making albums since the 2000s, I think. A little bit more country than Zach Bryan. It's, like I said, Zach's a little bit more folk than he is fully country, but John Moreland is a little more country than Zach. So, yeah, it's a good song. Good vocals in both of them. I think they still mesh together well. Like Ida, a little bit more country than some of his solo tracks before this. Um, but lyrically, like I said, it's still way better than the rest of the country scene right now. It's not even really close. He's just the best lyricist out right now in the country scene. It's not even that much of a question, honestly. The song keeps you engaged. It's sweet, and it's just a good song. I mean, it's really a good song. That's all it is, you know. Bass Boat feels a little bit more like a self-titled album, which is fine. The self-titled album is great, and the harmonies on here, whoa, oh my goodness, the harmonies, man. Ooh, they're nice. Harmonies on this song are nice. Like seriously, I don't know who else sings on this because there's no feature. But whoever sings on this, they kill it. They really build up this whole aura, and this track is just ooh, it kicks you in the ears. Here's Johnny been waiting for John Mayer on Better Days. Now we got a pretty good song from this collab. I'd say the guitar is definitely very impressive. Obviously, that comes from John Mayer. He is a guitarist, but I think this has the most forward-moving sound to it. It's a lot of songs on this kind of look back into his artistic career and back into country and folk of yesteryear. Anyway, obviously there's some pop influences from John Mayer, but I think the song also has potential to be a bit of a hit single if it was released as one. So then we have Towers. This is probably the most vocally intense of the tracks here, but it's also lyrically intense. It asks a lot of questions about God. This is probably the most country we're gonna get. Country formula is so often God, beer, women, and trucks, and this is one of them. We have God, but it's a it's more of a folky song about God than it is a country song about him because it asks a lot of questions. This is one of the most thoughtful songs on the album, I think. I think it's a good listen, honestly. Sandpaper has the coveted Bruce Springsteen, the boss, you know? So you can feel it as soon as you listen to the song. They got more drums, they got more guitar, and it just feels a little bit more like a Bruce Springsteen song than the rest of the song on this album, right? And then he comes on. Bruce Springsteen comes on, and you can feel the age in his voice. I will say that you can definitely feel the age in his voice. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, I mean, he's 74. He's been doing this for 50 plus years. So yeah, obviously he's going to have some age in his voice. It's not the worst song on the album, but it's not incredible, we'll say. All right, Northern Thunder. Northern Thunder is a kind of it's a return to the guitar style that we've been hearing a lot in this album, and it's paired with more lyrics that are, again, great, as always, with him. It's another quality song. The growling on the end is pretty intense. That's kind of cool. It's pretty nice. But yeah, the song is fine. Nothing too special about it, but it's just a good track. Funny Man is good. More drumming in this song than the previous track. That's fine. The song feels like another good but not standout song. A lot of this album has that. There are songs that are good but not standout, you know? Which is okay. Sometimes you just need an album of good music that doesn't completely wow you, you know? You need that sometimes. Okay, Pink Skies is the lead single from this album. And again, it's a good song. It's a good song. But I don't think it's nearly as worthy of the lead single spot as other tracks are. Most notably, American Nights. Because American Nights is just a better single, honestly. It feels more poppy. I don't know. I think it's just a better song, in my opinion. Again, all my opinion, but I just think it's a better song. That being said, it's still a good song. I know people like this song, so I'm not gonna bash it or anything. But it's still a good song, like I said. And finally, we have the closer, Bathwater. Bathwater is short and sweet, minute and 40 seconds. It's a good closer, just a nice little close to the album. So that's the album. Overall, a good album, a nice album. I like it. There wasn't a lot that blew me away, let's say, but there wasn't a song I didn't like. There was definitely not a song that I didn't like. I liked all the songs on here, but I think the length sometimes hinders it a little bit. If they had removed some of the less memorable songs on it, they could have had a more concise showing of his artistic growth. Again, all the songs are good. I just think if they had shortened it a little bit, it would have been just a little bit better. 3 tracks on this album that I would suggest to you: Way Back, Like Ida, and American Nights. Those 3, I think, are a good representation of the album, but also just some good songs. They're just good songs. Yeah. So that's it. My rating is gonna be, we're gonna give it an 83. 83 is what we're giving it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. If you like the album, leave a comment why you like it. Leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.